It's time for Tiger Talk, presented by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room. Old Chicago, amazing craft beers and food, north of I-70 in Hayes. Old Chicago, share, reconnect, celebrate. Tiger Talk is also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors. Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, providing the best in-home loans to the Tiger community since 1920. The Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, part of the University of Kansas Health System, and the official physicians for Fort Hays State University Athletics. The certified public accountants of Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball. Your trusted advisors, providing you with commitment, experience, and integrity. BTI, your John Deere dealer, with locations in Buckland, Great Bend, Greensburg, Hoxie, Ness City, and Pratt. BTI, Valley Hope of Norton. Get help and find hope. The Taco Shop. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. You've never had it so good. Horizon Appliance and Mattress. TVs, appliances, Traeger grills, and Tempur-Pedic bedding. Open 7 days a week at 1501 East 27th in Hayes. And Eagle Communications. Internet, TV, phone. Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
And a good Monday. Welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, soon to be joined by Fort Hays State head football coach Chris Brown. We are at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes, the home for Tiger Talk. We recorded over the noon hour. Of course, playback here at 6 on Tiger Radio Mix 103, and we're so glad to have you a part of it. It is another happy Monday after a Fort Hays State victory, a nice 15-0 win on homecoming in front of over 7,100 at Lewis Field. The Tigers beat Central Oklahoma 15-0 to move to 4-1 on the year. They make your plans to join us for lunch next week over the noon hour here at Old Chicago, but you can stop by anytime. Old Chicago, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and distinctive taproom fare. Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, serious craft brews, seriously good food. And we appreciate their hospitality again today for hosting the program. And the Tigers did get a nice victory on Saturday night, knocking off Central Oklahoma. Head coach Chris Brown joining us now. Congratulations on the win. Let's start with the crowd. 7,100. Thought it'd be a big crowd. It was energetic. And, Lewis Field's becoming a happening place on Saturdays. That was another fun environment and certainly helped you guys to get a victory.
It did. You know, I can't thank our fans enough for being there and supporting our guys. And, just the energy that they bring to the game itself. You know, we feed off of that. And, without them, none of this would be possible. When I first got here, there wasn't very many people there. It wasn't very loud. It wasn't very exciting. But now the atmosphere is amazing. I think that people are having a great time as well. But just the cheers and the loudness of it, it just gives you the feel, of a real sporting event. And, I can't thank them enough for being there and all their cheers.
Arrowhead Stadium's always got a great smelling parking lot on game day. But I tell you what, Lewis Field's giving them a run. You drive up there, and I know when you guys get to the stadium, you smell the burgers cooking and all the barbecue going on at the tailgate. It's pretty hard not to want to run through the parking lot and grab a burger or something.
It is. I thought about it a couple of times. During the game, I could still smell some of it and thought about going over there. But no, it is. As you drive by there, we're coming over after pregame meal and just seeing the people in the parking lot, tailgating and having fun with their friends and their families and just just the community itself engaging with one another. It's awesome to see, and hopefully that continues to grow. They need to find some more spots, I guess, if we can get that thing to grow bigger. But it's a really, really awesome sight to see, and then your opponent has to see that as well, seeing the support that you get. So that kind of puts some thoughts in the back of their minds of this place has got it going on.
Well, you get a nice 15-0 win, and a lot to discuss in this game. But I guess what really jumps out is the defense. Boy, they were good all night. Probably the best overall effort of the year.
They did a great job. Stopping the run. They really did stop the run and didn't allow the quarterback to scramble all over the place and get first downs. And our DBs did a good job of locking those guys down. There's a couple catches here and there that got big plays on us, but they kept them out of the end zone and. We always talk about that bend but don't break, but we really didn't bend that much either in that game. Our defense really pinned their ears back, played physical, played aggressive. And I think that's the most aggressive we played all year long, really on both sides of the ball. And but our defense was outstanding. Heck, we have players of the week, each week, and we couldn't pick one on defense, so we just named the whole defensive player of the week, and they deserved it. great honor, and it was fun to watch those guys really play and get after it.
Well, we always name a player of the game after the game, and we had the same thing. We had the defense because it was hard to pick any one player. Everybody had a role. I mean, it seemed like the defensive line got great penetration, and you mentioned it with Garrett, their quarterback, who can really run the football. I think 12 yards was his longest run of the night. Did a good job of containing him and making it difficult and not letting him do what he likes to do well.
And he did. We did a good job of it, keeping him in the pocket, and we got some hits on him, and I think that made him uncomfortable in there. He's releasing the ball, so sometimes pretty early when the route hasn't developed yet, and they messed up the whole timing of everything. If your D-line can do that, and you send some blitzes here and there, and you get to the quarterback and put some pressure on him and put some hits on him, he's always thinking about those things. But yeah, we contained him, and we kept him where he needed to be, and we kept him in check during the game.
First shutout since 2008, season opener at home against New Mexico Highlands, a span of 116 games, and it's hard to do. I mean, you look at other teams, and Northwest has had a few, but it's hard to shut a team out for 60 minutes of football. And I know that was probably, you get to a point of the game, that becomes a pride factor. You want to keep them off the board.
Yeah, you do, especially, this day and age. It's not the ground and pound, and we're going to run it, 60 times a game where, now you guys, there's a lot of big play potential out there. And, it's hard for defense to do it, but, our guys really stepped up and got the job done. And, you got to that fourth quarter, and they're kind of driving down to your side. They get to get that fourth down. They're going to kick a field goal just to get some points on the board, or they're going to go for it. And they went for it. Ian did a good job of getting that sack to finish it off. But it is really tough, this day and age, to get a shutout. And our guys did it, and they took pride in it, and they just made it tough on themselves. Now I expect that each week now.
Yeah, some milestones in the game. First, I guess you're happy for him. Dante Brown, 5 field goals. You would like to have him kick less in a game and get some more touchdowns, but he was 5 for 6, and really solid game once again for him. Obviously, the 5 field goals would set a new single-game record, but his punting was really good, maybe the best so far this season.
Yeah, he's been great. Any chance you get, points on the board, you can count on him to do that. If it's 50, we're probably going to give him a shot at it because he's been so consistent, and hopefully he stays that way. And his punch as well, that one sideline,
that was fun.
Warning, that's probably on me, but I was so excited for the kid and the way he kicked the ball and pinned it down in there. It's either on me or Coach Brown, the other Brown. We'll blame it on the other Brown.
There you go.
But it was just good to see, him succeed right now, and the things that he's doing and having fun doing it. And he's only getting better each week.
Yeah, the one he was able to cue just inside the pylon at the 1 yard line. I think it ended up being a 63-yard punt for him, but he had a couple of others pinned inside the 20. That becomes such a valuable weapon, obviously, in this day and age of football.
It is. Field position's huge, and you can pin a team inside the 20. I mean, that's a long ways to go, and especially the way our defense plays. You got to earn everything, and we're hoping that you'll make a mistake, in those plays going down the field. And that's what we did. Dante pinned him deep. Our defense made him earn everything, and they caught, and they had a few mistakes, and we got a few interceptions as well. So we came out on the winning end on that end.
Yeah, Dante now leads Division II in field goals per game and leads the conference in scoring. It is 18th in all of Division II football in points scored. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. More to talk about. We'll review the win over Central Oklahoma and preview this Saturday's game, another in-state rival, this time the Tigers on the road at Emporia State. We'll do that as we continue here on Tiger Talk, recorded over the noon hours, Mondays at Old Chicago, the place to watch your favorite football games this fall. Big Monday night game tonight with the Chiefs and the Broncos. And while you're in, you can join the OC Rewards program. It's free to new members. Receive a free appetizer for up to $10 after your first transaction at Old Chicago, your pizza and craft beer authority. We will take our first break. Back with more on Tiger Talk here on the Tiger Sports Network.
I'm Patty Stahl, broker-owner of Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. We want your dreams to become a reality. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty prides itself in putting you first.
Zara takes the snap. Here comes the blitz. Screen pass set up for Wendelberger. The tight end rumbling up the Broncos sideline. He's at midfield. Hurdles a defender. Takes it inside the 40. Down to the 39.
Shea Harris makes the tackle, but it's a 36-yard pass completion to Matt Wendelberger. His second catch of over 30 yards tonight. 1st and 10 Tigers.
Yeah, Matt's becoming a big target for the Tiger quarterbacks. He had, I think, 4 or 5 more catches. A couple of them over 30, another one over 20. He had a big 30-yarder that set up your first field goal. This one was a big, I don't think you scored on this possession, but another big play. And he's become a valuable weapon for you. You've even seen him set up some screen passes with him. He's maybe not your typical tight end. He's not as big as a lot of the tight ends you see in the MIAA as far as height goes, but good blocker, great hands, and shows some ability for yards after catch as well.
Yeah, he can do it all. You know, he can catch a screen, he can catch a vertical route, he can catch an out route, he can block very, very well. I mean, he's the all-around, you know, tight end that you want. Doesn't have the size, but that doesn't matter with him. He has the heart and the strength and the, you know, the will to get things done. And you know, he's a great player. He works hard every single day, and I'm very, very proud of him. And it's good to see him have some success on the football field because, you know, he deserves it. I mean, he puts a lot of time in, you know, through the off seasons and, you know, after practice, before practice, just preparing himself and in the film room. But you know, that kid, he earns everything, and you know, I'm proud of him.
Jacob Mazzara threw him that pass, and he became Fort Hays State's all-time career pass leader as far as completions goes, and past Mike Garrison. Still 4 touchdown passes away from tying Travion Albert's career mark of 55, but another milestone for Jacob, and it seems like his game has elevated week by week by week, and he's slowly getting a little bit better, maybe into the form we saw a year ago.
Yeah, he is. I think he's starting us to kind of relax, and then, you know, not, you know, knowing it's his senior year, I think he kind of stressed himself out a little bit early in the season, and just needs to relax and be Jake. You know, he's a great football player. He's got a great arm. He knows the offense very well, and you know, just don't force things and let it come to you. And I think he's really starting to do that these last couple of weeks.
You know, last week on the show, you talked about him maybe needing to scramble a little bit more, a little bit quicker, kind of learn a little bit from Chance, and maybe Chance stay in the pocket. It's like they got together. He kind of moved that pocket a little bit, got out a few times, and extended some plays.
Yeah, he did. And you know, he needs to continue doing those things because, you know, it really stresses a defense when your quarterback can get out and scramble around and extend plays because now you got DBs getting out of position, and you know, if they're all in coverage, you can go get a first down, you know, just with your feet. So you know, he needs to continue to work on that and get better at it. But you know, I thought he had a pretty good game this last week, and you know, I'm probably breaking that record. Hopefully, we can get him the other ones.
Yeah.
And you know, I told him when he leaves here, I want him to be the guy that holds all the records.
Well, he's getting closer, moving up the charts on career pass attempts. Yardage, we'll see. If Tigers can get rolling offensively, we'll have an outside shot, but certainly career touchdowns will be another one. He's going to be dotted off the top of a lot of career records. One, well, not record, but a string that got snapped, 10 straight games of touchdown passes. Obviously, he didn't get it into the end zone, so unfortunately that came to an end, but hopefully he can start a new one this week in Emporia.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, we just kind of got ourselves in a situation where it was 1st and goal from the 10-yard line every time, and you know, in that situation, it's hard to get, you know, 3 rushes into the end zone for touchdowns, and then, you know, you got to throw a few passes here and there. There was 2 slant passes that both should have been caught, and you know, that kind of puts that game away. But you know, we dropped them, so we had to settle for field goal. So again, it's just guys making plays when they need to make plays. You know, we just need to have guys step up. You know, had too many drop balls in that game as well, and I mean, there's probably 4 for sure that I know of that should have been caught. You know, either gives us a first down or touchdowns, and you know, those are things that we got to work on.
When you're moving the ball like that, you've had success. You had a couple of 3rd or 4th down and shorts. You opted to punt a couple times when you're a little bit further out, but in field goal range, obviously you opted to go to the field goal and take the sure points. Was it tempting on a few of those to go for it on 4th down because you've been moving the ball so well? It felt like you were controlling the game, but yet we're always having to settle for field goals.
Yeah, it was. It was tough, but I don't know the way Dante's, you know, legs bent. He's been, you know, banging him through there all the time, so go ahead and take the points while we can because it's, you know, it's still a tight ball game. You know, you get a 15 now. You know, it's a two scores, and then they got to get a 2-point conversion to tie it up. And you know, you got to take the points when you can get them. And if you got a guy that has a leg that can do it, you might as well use him.
Matt Wendelberger had a big catch on your first drive. You went down. You ended up settling for the field goal, but you drove it 88 yards on 12 plays, your longest drive by yardage of the year. And I thought maybe your most efficient opening possession of the season so far. You really were very workmanlike moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, it was, and it's just, you know, we got to quit putting ourselves in that situation. You know, we had great returns, and we have stupid penalties, and we had a lot of great returns in that game where we had some just dumb penalties that cost us, and you know, that we got to eliminate that. But that was a very good, you know, a very efficient drive, you know, down the field. Just wish you could have got out of the end zone, but you know, we settled for the 3. But you know, we'll take it. But it's a start of us hopefully getting better offensively and being able to sustain drives, get first downs, and now hopefully we can just start putting them in the end zone.
Penalties have been up slightly from what you're probably used to and what you like. And if you said, a lot of them have been on special teams, did a pretty good job within the offense. There were a couple holds in there and that you're going to have throughout the course of a game. But it seems like the majority of them have been on returns and has really made it difficult. As you mentioned, that opening drive, you had a good return. Instead, you get the ball at your own 8-yard line instead of near the 35.
Yeah, it kills you. You know, you get a shorter field, you got a better chance of scoring. It doesn't put so much stress on your offense. And you know, when you get backed up in those situations, it kind of handcuffs you what you can do offensively because you don't want to throw a pick six or, you know, do something stupid and turn the ball over. So, you know, we got to start eliminating those things. And they're just dumb penalties. I mean, blocking the backs. I mean, some of them are holds. You know, the one hold, the kid just got ran over, but you just got to let go, you know, as you're going down. And then, you know, celebration one on the sideline. I mean, those are just dumb penalties that are going to cost us. So, you know, we'll do some extra running for that on Tuesday, you know, to make sure we get it through their minds that, you know, these penalties are going to kill us. You know, one of these games is going to cost us because we had some stupid penalty.
We talked about the offense and that first drive really kind of setting the tone, but your defense, first 6 possessions for UCO, they went 3 and out. I don't know if I can remember a game in which that happened. They didn't get their first down until late in that second quarter. They got that 40-yard pass play, but fortunately for you, they were a little bit short on the long field goal try. But your defense was locked in from that opening possession, really set the tone, and were really locked in all 4 quarters.
Yeah, they were. You know, the defensive staff, Coach Harrison, Coach Ike, and Dudley, and those guys have really prepared them well for that game, just with the different looks they're going to give you as well. And, you know, and got pressure on them and blitzed at the right times and played the right coverages at the right times and put our guys in good position, you know, to win. And, you know, our guys took advantage of it. And, you know, you see some of those guys on blitzes, you know, they were running through people. And, you know, I haven't seen that in the past where our guys really pinned their ears back and wanted to get to the quarterback and make things happen. And, you know, they did. They played hard. They played physical. And, you know, they're ready to get after some guys on Saturday.
Well, the Tigers jumped out to a 12-0 halftime lead on the 4 Dante Brown field goals. Defense was obviously playing well. We'll talk a little bit about the second half of the ball game. It was had some key moments in it. The Tigers come up big in the 15-0 victory over Central Oklahoma. Tiger Talk recorded at Old Chicago Mondays during the noon hour, so make your plans to join us next week for lunch, and you can try one of their great pizzas with dough made fresh daily. It's at Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room north of the interstate in Hayes. We'll take a break. Back with more Tiger Talk right here on the Tiger Sports Network.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM.
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
3rd down and 1. They send a man in motion near side, and it's going to be a bump to the play. The Tigers get a tackle for loss, and the Broncos will have to punt. Garrett, the quarterback, faked the jet sweep and kind of bobbled the ball, and Tanner Hookman blows him up for a loss of 3. And it's 4th down, and the Broncos will have their 6th consecutive 3 and out to start this game.
Well, there you go. One of the big stops on 3rd down. The Tigers had a lot of them. The 6th consecutive there. That was midway, getting late into that second quarter. Tigers had 4 Dante Brown field goals and led at halftime 12-0 over UCO. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. We're at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes. Defense holds them to 88 yards in the first half. Yet it was 12-0. You felt that you're probably in control of the game, but I mean, you look up one big play and it's game on. They're with less than a possession away from taking the lead. So as it is every week, that first possession, either offensively or defensively, important. You guys were on defense and you guys set the tone, forced another 3 and out to start that second half. I thought that was key to kind of keep that momentum going that you had in that first half.
It was, you know, just those guys coming out, getting the stop quick, you know, and you know, Coach Harrison getting, you know, calling the right plays at the right time, and you know, our guys executing the plays as well. And you know, you got to have those stops. You know, if you can stop a team, you know, from the get-go, you stopped them in the first half, you come out in the second half, you stop them right again. you kind of deflate them a little bit because they can't get anything going. And our guys just stayed on them and kept pressuring them and, made things tough. And, then we had some really nice plays in that half as well with some interceptions and things like that, nice tackles for losses and some sacks. So, our defense, they really played well.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, you did a good job. We talked about containing Chandler Garrett. Wyatt Parker, I don't know how many times he ran him down from behind on those quarterback draws or design runs, it looks like, and he gets big yardage. He had a big scramble to kind of put the Northwest game away the week before. You never really let him get out on that. I think 12 yards was his longest run, and it seemed like Wyatt Parker did a really good job of reading when they were running that play and made a big tackle near the line of scrimmage multiple times.
Yeah, you saw all the teams playing him. They really – the tackles would get upfield, the ends would get upfield, and just kind of give them a big hole to run through. Or our tackles did a good job of, kind of keeping that middle part plugged up a little bit and not letting them get out. And if he did try to run through A gap or B gap, they were able to get there and make the play. And that's just good coaching on our coach's part. Not letting those tackles run upfield and staying in their gaps, and just letting your DNs kind of collapse the pocket down and let the quarterback come to you. And that's what our guys did and made things happen.
Couple of big moments in the game, still a contest. They opt to go for it. I think you alluded to it earlier in the show. They had their best penetration. First time they got in the red zone all night long. In that third quarter, they opt to go for it on fourth down. And Ian Nordell, who got the start in the ball game, came through with a huge sack, kind of turned the momentum. They go in and they score a touchdown there. Who knows how this thing ends, but that was a big momentum-turning play for you guys.
That was a huge play, and he even got off the ball a little bit slow, but he did a good job of getting his arm, on the tackle, getting separation, turning the corner, and getting to the quarterback. And that's one heck of a play. I mean, that really gives the momentum back. I mean, we had the momentum anyway, but that really turns the table for them. I mean, now they're really, pressing to make things happen. And, without that play, who knows where we're at.
Well, and he got a start in the ball game, and he's a K-State transfer out of Concordia, still trying to get acclimated with your program, but it seems like he's getting much more comfortable. He's a big guy at that defensive end. You've got some years with him, so excited to see where his future could go.
Oh, I'm very excited. We still got 3 more years after this, and, he's just a redshirt freshman, and he's only going to get bigger, get stronger, and he loves it. He absolutely he loves being here. He loves being a part of this team, loves the game of football, does everything you ask him to do, and he's gotten better as the year's gone on. So, who knows where he might be by the end of the season.
Tigers get the win, 15-0. We'll take another break. Be back with more. Talk about the UCO victory. Look ahead to the Hornets of Emporia State. Always a challenge when the two in-state rivals collide. That'll be this Saturday afternoon at Welch Stadium. Tiger Talk brought to you by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, home of the World Beer Tour. They have 110 beers from around the world. Ask for details the next time you're here at Old Chicago, and you can begin your World Beer Tour. Old Chicago, your pizza and craft beer authority. More after the break on the Tigers Sports Network. Hi, everyone. This is Gerard Wellbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. We record it over the noon hours Mondays at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes, and play back at 6 o'clock Monday nights on Tiger Radio Mix 103. You can also catch it on Eagle TV's Channel 14 and 614, Tuesday and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and always on HayesPost.com. So join us for Tiger Talk over the noon hour Mondays at Old Chicago. Receivers right, one left. McKenzie, the running back, to the right of Garrett, who wants to throw deep down the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. Doyen Chabowu. Fort Hays State with another interception. It's their 7th of the year, and they'll take over at their own 41-yard line. The first interception this year, and now the 8th of the career for the Denver, Colorado redshirt senior, Doyen Chabowu. Yeah, big-time play for him. Doyen, he had a gutsy game. He's had shoulder issues since week 1. He had to leave after, he got burned on a play, and he made a big tackle to save a touchdown possibly in that first half, but he came back, and he gritted one out. He's a tough guy, and just really fun to watch him play.
He is fun to watch. He is tough. He's had some shoulder problems here and there, but he takes care of his body and does the things he needs to do to make sure that it's healthy, week in and week out, and he can make some plays. He's got some long length, he's got some good speed, and breaks pretty well on the ball. But when you need to play somebody to make a play, he's going to try to make that play and get the job done for his team. But I can tell you what, he is a team player, great kid, great in school, great in our community. He is the total package.
And we knew coming in he was a National Honor Society kid, but academically, he's going to be so successful after football. But I think you can see that on the field. I mean, he studies, he knows the game, and he's got natural smarts, and it shows up when he plays on Saturdays.
It is, because he studies his playbook. He studies his opponent just like he's, studying for his homework, and he taking notes all the time and making sure he knows his plays and getting in his playbook. And when you see him watch film, he's really into it. A lot of guys just kind of sit there and look at the picture and trying to figure out what they're looking at, but he studies his opponent very well, who he's going against, what their favorite move is off the line, how they're going to block him. I mean, he studies it well. I mean, if every kid would do it like he does, we would have some tremendous guys on the field making plays all the time, but he knows how to do it.
He had a pick. Connor Shadid had another interception, his third of the year. That was a big play. Both of those kind of kept the momentum on your side and took chances away from them scoring, and Connor's kind of sealed the deal, because if they go in and score 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, they can still win the ball game. But after that pick, there was pretty much no chance for that. That was a big play, and he seems to almost every week now come up with a big one.
Yeah, he does. And it's just him doing his job, staying back, understanding the situation, knowing that they're going to try to get some deep balls, and just keeping everything in front. And the quarterback kind of overthrew it just a little bit, and he was there to make the play. And he's hopefully we can. I think he did it last week as well.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs to continue doing that, doing what he's asked to do. And but he's a very coachable kid again, and he's a kid that studies film too, just like everybody. Him and Doyen are probably two of the best at watching film and really studying their opponent and making it important. But he's gotten better as the years have gone on as well. He was pretty good last year as a junior, but this year he's even better.
Charles Tigner finished with 101 yards, his second straight 100-yard game. He had 98, I think, in the Washburn game. It would be 3 in a row, so he's really getting on a roll. It was the third career 100-yard game for him. And what I think made this one more impressive than others, he had a season high and a career high with 24 carries. His longest run was 12. Obviously, you stuck with the running game, but he had some hard yards in there, and he just kept pounding and pounding and pounding. And when you look up at the end of the night, there he is, right at 100 yards again.
Yeah, he's starting to figure it out. He's staying in between the tackles like he's supposed to, and not trying to bounce those things. And he's really running hard, and he runs physical. I mean, he is hard to bring down. Then when he gets in the open field, he's got a chance to break it, but. Each week he's gotten better. He's trusted us a little bit more. Is what we're trying to teach him. He's been very coachable, and he wants to bring the punishment now to the linebackers and the DBs, and instead of them hitting him, he's going to try to hit them. And he's gotten better. He's kind of taken that role over that he's going to be our number one guy, and I'm proud of him for that because I've been waiting for that all year long, and I think these last 2 weeks he's really proven that.
And it seems like he's doing a good job when he's not carrying the ball. Has to stay in and block and have some protection on the quarterback, doing a better job of picking up those blitzing linebackers and giving Jake a little bit more time.
Yeah, he is. He's picking them up. He's still, we got to get a little bit more physical on those blocks and bring a little bit more, punch to him, but. He has gotten better at it. He knows who he's supposed to pick up now, and as these weeks get on, he's only going to get better. So, you can just tell by the way he practices too. His practice habits are a lot different than they used to be, and just everything he's doing is a lot different. He's maturing and he's growing, and he's going to turn into one heck of a football player.
I remember one play late in the game, he caught the ball and kind of gets tackled. You don't think much of it, and you look, he's 5 yards down the field. He was just waiting. Very patient, really never had a hole develop. That offensive line got great surge, and before they get to him, it's already a 5-yard gain. Seemed like the O-line had a pretty solid night.
Yeah, they did. They're starting to come around as well. We've had some injuries here in the past, and got some new guys filling in there, and they're just starting to gel. And they're starting to figure it out and getting on the same page. And it takes a while at that position to really understand what everybody's doing. And those guys that are filling in have done a great job so far. So. As long as they get that push and let our backs, stick in behind them, and we're patient enough to find that little seam, we'll be breaking some of those off for long runs here pretty soon.
Always a lot of talk about the quarterback and their timing with wide receivers, and obviously that's important. It looks like that is getting better. But that timing and just that comfortability with the, if that's a word, but being comfortable with your fellow offensive linemen working as one is a big part of it as well, isn't it?
It is. Just even on like the double teams working up to a linebacker, when can I come off? When can I not come off? When's the right time? Am I too early? Am I too late? All that goes hand in hand, but that takes a lot of time and a lot of work together, just to kind of understand one another and just getting that feel for it. And And it's the same thing with your running back, understanding when those guys are going to break. Because sometimes if they're too early, we're too late to the hole. If they're not fast enough, we're too early to the hole. And it's just all that timing, just like you said, quarterbacks and receivers is the same way with your run game. It's got to time up right, and good things happen. I think we're starting to get there now.
Saw Nathan Hale warming up in pregame, suited up, but didn't get into the game. Chance to see him this Saturday?
Yeah, there is. We're just trying to make sure that thing is fully healed up, and we don't want to take a chance of hurting him for the rest of the season because we still got a lot of season to go, and if we can get him back, we're going to get him back. And you hate to throw him in there too early, and then it end up being a season-ending thing. So we're taking it slow, making sure that he's good to go. We don't want to rush him back and something happen.
You talked about the defense a lot tonight, certainly warranted by the way they played, but your defensive line had one of their better games as well. They disrupted, and either when they had to, they held their own up front or got some penetration in the backfield.
Yeah, they did, and you can just see the offensive line for UCO get very, very frustrated. A couple of stupid penalties as well, just of our guys just getting after it, pinning their ears back, and trying to get to the quarterback and stopping the run game. It totally frustrated their offense, and it was good to see our guys do that. They played hard, they played physical, they got some penetration, they moved the offensive line back and reestablished the line of scrimmage. And when you got your defensive line doing that, great things are going to happen. And they kept kept them off our linebackers as well to go make plays. So when you get that done, it makes everybody's life a lot easier.
Talked about the 5 field goals from Dante, setting a new school record. Kind of forgetting there, Wyatt Parker, the long snapper, Andrew Jay, now the holder with Aaron Gaither's knee injury. Wyatt's been steady as the long snapper, but 2 positions you kind of take for granted. How was there much adjustment, much change when Andrew had to slide in there to become the holder?
No, we use Andrew in practice too. So Gaither was doing it, and then Andrew would come in because he was the backup just to make sure he got the timing down. But it was one of those things in practice that week where when Gaither went down, that Andrew had to take over, and he took every snap. And it's another thing. It's about timing. The snap's got to be right, the hold's got to be right. Those kickers, that ball's got to be tilted just the right way, or we're not going to make it. And the laces got to be out, all those little things that go into it. But, that they've worked well together, and that's just them, being on the same page and asking questions and make sure that they're comfortable where everything's at. And, it's worked well for us so far.
Tigers win Saturday, 15-0 over UCO. They are now 4-1, still tied with Northwest Missouri State for second place in the MIAA, and game back of Pittsburgh State, who will be in town in 2 weeks. Between them, Emporia State, the Hornets, this Saturday at Welch Stadium. We will take a break, and we'll talk about that ball game when we return. We are at Old Chicago, your new home for Tiger Talk. Join us over the lunch hour on Mondays. And, of course, the playback here on Tiger Radio Mix 103. They've got great food, all the barroom fare, and great pizzas, many different selections to choose from, wings, burgers, you name it. And, of course, the great beer selection at Old Chicago, north of Interstate in Hayes. We will take our final break. When we come back, we'll preview the Hornets on Tiger Talk here on the Tiger Sports Network.
As you plan for your business in 2018, advertising should be an important part of your growth strategy. Digital marketing puts your business in front of the right customers online. Advertising with the Hayes Post ensures your message will be viewed 1.5 million times a month, including 375,000 unique views a week. Are you ready to grow your business? Advertise with us today. It's affordable and it works. Call us today at 785-628-0467. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
They need 5. They're at the Tiger 13, trailing 15-0. McKenzie in motion, empty backfield. They'll pump his way. Garrett with pressure. He's sacked! Brought down by Ian Nordell, who got his first start tonight. And the Tigers get a 4th down stop.
Yeah, that was a big play in the fourth quarter. Fort Hays State holding on. They preserved the shutout. Ian Nordell's sack, and that was a great play. But you know what's the coolest part about that? Hearing that crowd in the background. I mean, they were into it, and that's, as you said, hasn't always been there. That was fun. I mean, you get goosebumps here in the crowd. I mean, it's become a big-time atmosphere, and hopefully that can continue throughout the year. But as one of those situations, crowd really helps out.
They really, really do. Just the noise, kind of disrupts the offense. They can't hear, as well, and trying to figure things out. And, I'm telling you, our crowd has been amazing, these last few years. And, it's just great to see them come out, socialize with one another. Just kind of brings the community together, and just the energy that it brings to the stadium itself and to our players. And without those fans, it'd be kind of a boring game, it'd be quiet, and it's just feel like practice. But with those guys there, I mean, it truly feels like a game, and there's a lot of excitement, and a lot of people that have our backs and that are there for us and cheering us on, and that just gives us extra energy, extra motivation, and it just makes us play better, and I can't thank them enough.
Well, hopefully some of those fans will hit the road this Saturday. A day game in Emporia. Day games for the rest of the year. That'll be nice as the Tigers take on Emporia State. Hornets 2-3, shut out at Northwest Missouri. They had a long weather delay and just couldn't quite get it going against the Bearcats, who sometimes timing is everything, or maybe not so good, and probably wasn't good for Emporia after Northwest lost at UCO. I'm sure it was a refocused and very determined Northwest team, but a dangerous game. We talked about it. You're tied with Northwest. You're a game back at Pitt State. The Gorillas come to Hayes a week from Saturday. And you hate to say Emporia is a trap game, but they've obviously struggled a little bit this year. You guys got to really fight hard to stay locked in, be focused, and take care of business on Saturday afternoon.
It is. We talked about it's 1 week at a time, and that's just kind of the way we have to handle things. We got 6 games left, and this is the most important game right now. And Emporia State, they're still a very good football team. They got Marstal back at quarterback, who's a very dangerous runner and thrower. They do a lot of those RPO things that kind of get you out of position, and they're reading whether to run or pass. And they got some great receivers and some big old linemen up front. And defensively, they're going to give us a look that we really haven't seen this year. Sometimes they're in a 3-man front with 3 linebackers that are kind of split out with a lot of DBs, and they're going to bring some of those guys down into a 4-man box now. And so we're going to really practice this week on some different looks that we haven't seen so far. So they're very talented. I'm not going to be looking for a win. Hopefully we go down there and play very, very well, because we need to. But, we got to find a way to keep Marsal in the pocket and not let him scramble around and get first downs. But, our destiny's in our own hands. We take care of business and win out. And heck, we either share the title or we win the title, just depending on kind of what between Northwest and Pitt happened this week. So, we got to get after it this week in practice and really lock in.
You mentioned Braxton Marstal. He's now number 2 on the all-time total offense list at Emporia State. So it shows you he doesn't just do it with his arm, and he's a good passer, but he can do it with his legs. And maybe the difference of what they're going to do, that run-pass option compared to maybe the type of running game you were seeing from the quarterback at UCO.
Yeah, it is. It's they kind of just give it. You can give it, or the quarterback can keep it, or he can throw it. There's 3 different plays off of one play. So everybody's got to be assignment sound, and everybody has to do their job. One guy makes a mistake, it's going to cost us. So, we got to be locked into what they're doing, and then, but offensively, we got to score some points too. We got to take some pressure off our defense. We can't rely on them every single week to get us out of a bind, which they have the last 5 weeks. So it's our turn to start doing some things and help our defense out and take a little pressure off of them.
Justin Brown, his top target. He's the 2nd all-time leader in receptions at Emporia. You got some of these guys, it seems like they've been there forever, because they kind of has, but 221 catches. Obviously, they've got more receivers, but he's kind of the main guy they like to throw it to.
He is our main guy, and he runs very good routes, got great hands, strong after the catch, and you don't see him do a lot of deep routes, but it's always underneath routes, catching the ball and getting yards after the catch. He's a tremendous receiver, so we got to know where he's at, but they got some others that are just as talented as well. So we're going to do everything we can to keep everything in front and not give up the big play and make them earn everything.
Jace McDown kind of anchors that defense. You mentioned that linebacking core. He's there. He's 2nd in the conference in forced fumbles. He leads in solo tackles, 3rd in total tackles. I think that week 1 he just went crazy. He kind of anchors that defense, and he's a pretty good one. It seems like they've always had really good linebackers there at ESU.
Yeah, they have. And they got guys that can run and guys that are physical and guys that when you look at them, they look the part, as a linebacker. So, we got to know where he's at, and just the things they do, I think, kind of keeps him freed up to go make plays. So, we got to find a way to get to him and get him blocked and kind of confuse him on passing routes to, try to get some easy ones on him. But, he's a great player, and so we got to find a way to get our run game going again. That's going to be the most important, and hopefully that opens up our pass game.
You mentioned them being physical in the way he plays. Do you feel like the physicality is getting closer to where you'd like on your team on both sides of the ball?
It is. This week was better. We're still not quite there yet. How I am. I want to see guys laying up. No, I just want to see guys laying all over the field, getting beat up. But I thought last week was our most physical game by far. That we played. So hopefully we can build off of that. And this week we're even more physical. Going into these next few weeks as well, because to win these next games, we're going to have to be physical and create some turnovers defensively and not turn the ball over offensively and get our run game going and establish that run game. If we can get those things going, and it's all about physicality. And we tell our kids it's a choice to be physical or not be physical. And if you choose not to, you're not going to play. So we want guys who are going to get after it down in and out. And if you can't be physical, we're not going to put you out there. We want guys that want to get after it and pin yours back and wear people out.
If you need anything to motivate your team, the Tigers 1-7 in their last 8 games at Welch Stadium and haven't won there since 2014. So hopefully can start a trend in the right direction. It's been a tough place for whatever reason. There's been weather issues. There's been a lot of weird things there. But Emporia State's been pretty good, but that's been as difficult a place for Fort Hays State to win as anywhere.
It is. And they have a great atmosphere when you go there. They got great student section, and that's behind you harassing you. And we just don't seem to play well there. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just the travel. There's no real, you can't really stay anywhere in Emporia that can, feed you meals and all those things. So, you have to stay in Topeka the night before, then drive over the next morning, which is an early morning for you. But, our guys got to figure it out. It's a business trip. We got to go there and take care of business and get the job done and come back with a W.
All right, sounds good. Have a great week of practice. We appreciate your time as always, and we'll see you in Emporia. Should be a fun one against the Hornets and the Tigers. Always fun when these two longtime rivals hook up.
It is. Thanks, Gerard.
All right, there you go. That's head coach Chris Brown of the Fort Hays State Tigers, again at Emporia State on Saturday. Hey, a reminder, you can catch the video replay of Tiger Talk Tuesday and Wednesdays, 10 in the morning, 7 in the evening on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. And, of course, you can always watch the program online at HaysPost.com. All you have to do is hover over the Eagle TV icon on the top left of your screen and then click on Tiger Talk. And, of course, every Monday right here on Tiger Radio Mix 103. Tiger Talk is recorded every Monday during the noon hour at Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room. They're your craft beer authority. They're north of the interstate. Serious craft brews, seriously good food. Tiger Talk also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors, the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, part of the University of Kansas Health System, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, BTI, Valley Hope of Norton, The Taco Shop, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Horizon Appliance and Mattress, and Eagle Communications. Hope to see you in Emporia Saturday afternoon. It is a 2 o'clock start at Welch Stadium, and we'll be on the air with the Auto World pregame show at 1. Fort Hays State and Emporia State as the Tigers try to punch their record to 5-1 and stay in the hunt for another MIAA championship. That's going to wrap up the program for today. Certainly hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you again next Monday. For Coach Chris Brown, this is Gerard Wellbrock. So long from Old Chicago, your home of Tiger Talk.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayspost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, real country. 99 KZ Country.